Hello everyone, welcome back to our lecture on elasticity, and today we are going to discuss about uniform bending. A symmetrically loaded beam is an example for the uniform bending. As you see here, a beam which is loaded symmetrically at both ends and it is supported by two knife edges. So this is an example of uniform bending. So the radius of curvature of each point of the neutral axis of the beam has same value. That's why it is called uniform bending. The radius of curvature is same throughout the length of the beam. So here we are considering a beam of length L and we are loaded this beam with equal weights W on both ends, which is at a distance P beyond the knife edges. So this beam is supported by these two knife edges, which is at a distance L, and P is the distance which is beyond the knife edge where we load this weight. Now, the moment of bending couple will be, that is the force into perpendicular distance. So here you can see that the moment of bending couple will be the force acting on this beam is the weight which we applied here. So that is this weight, and the perpendicular distance from the support is P. So that is the moment of bending couple, that is W into P, where W is the weight and P is the distance where the weight is hung away from the knife edge. Since the bending is uniform throughout the length of the beam, the external bending moment is same throughout the length of the beam. Now we already have the expression for the internal bending moment, which is given as yIg by r, where Ig we define as the geometrical moment of inertia, and it is given by this expression A into k square, where A is the area of cross section of the beam and k is the radius of gyration about the neutral axis. And we already discussed about all these things, and for a beam of rectangular cross section, and B is the breadth and D is the thickness, then A is equal to B into D and K is equal to D by square root of 12. So this term will be Ig will be equal to BDQ by 12. Similarly, for a beam of circular cross section, A is equal to pi r square and K is equal to r by 2. So that this Ig will be pi r raised to 4 by 4. We already discussed those things. We'll be using the same expressions here. Now, in order to derive the expression for the elevation at the midpoint of the bar, that is at this point, that is delta. We define this elevation at this point, the middle of the bar, as delta, which is the maximum depression, that is maximum elevation, that will be at this point. For that, we consider a circle with radius of curvature of this beam. So we extend this one into a big circle. So that's what you are seeing here. So this AB is the beam, and the neutral axis is extrapolated of this one is extrapolated into a circle of radius r, and this from this figure where this distance AD will be L by 2. So this is just half of the beam, and this BD also equal to L by 2, approximately equal to L by 2. And this CD, which is the elevation at the midpoint, that is delta. So we are considering delta value which is much smaller than the length of the beam. That's why we approximated this as L by 2, and this is also as L by 2. Since CD is equal to delta, and if R is the radius of curvature, then OC will be R. So that means OD will be R minus delta. And from the triangle BDO, from this triangle BDO, we can define this R square, that is BO square will be equal to BD square plus OD square. So that is R square is equal to L by 2 square plus R minus delta all square. So we can cut this R square time from both sides, so that this will become 2R delta minus delta square is equal to L square by 4. And this delta is relatively small value in comparison with the radius of curvature or length of the beam. then we can neglect this term. The delta square will be even smaller. If delta is small, then this will be approximately 2r delta is equal to L square by 4. Then r is equal to L square by 8 delta. And we can substitute this value in our equation number 1. That is, the internal bending moment is yig by r. So we substitute for r in that expressions. Then you will get the expression for bending moment is equal to 8yig delta by L square. In equilibrium, the internal bending moment balances the moment of bending couple. So that is 8yig delta by L square is equal to W into P, where we define this W into P as the moment of bending couple. So from this we can get the expression for Young's modulus, that is y is equal to Wp L square divided by 8yg into delta. So now for a beam of rectangular cross sections of breadth B and thickness D, the Ig value is BdQ by 12. Now the expression for Young's modulus will be y is equal to 3Wp L square divided by 2BdQ into delta. So this one you have in your lab, you need to do these particular things, because our beam of is of rectangular cross section. So you need to derive the expression for Young's modulus for beam of rectangular cross sections. And if the beam is of circular cross sections of radius r, then Ig will be pi r raised to 4 by 4. Then the expression for Young's modulus is equal to y is equal to Wp L square divided by 2 pi r raised to 4 into delta. So these are the two expressions for Young's modulus in case of beam of rectangular or circular cross sections, and it is having a uniform bending. So you can see that the Young's modulus, the values of Young's modulus is we can calculate differently using non-uniform bending and uniform bending, but the expressions are different because the radius of curvature is not uniform throughout the length of the beam in the case of non-uniform bending, whereas in uniform bending the radius of curvature is same throughout the length of the beam. Okay, thank you.